We had a team that was a classically underachieving team, had a lot of good athletes, had a number of Pro Bowlers, but had not yet to have a winning season. So there was a mindset that had to be changed, not only with the players, but with the organization.
You know, I can tolerate a lot of things. I can tolerate arrogance, conceit, greed, right? But self-pity is one that just chaps my ass.
Get in here, we got to go fast now. Georgia!
We felt like we had something special going defensively.
He won't make that one.
We were able to draft a Jamal Lewis with the 5th pick of the draft and felt very good about the physicality that we thought Jamal was going to bring to that ball club.
Also at the 2000 camp was free agent Trent Dilfer, their new backup quarterback. Dilfer's 6 years in Tampa had been difficult, and he had more critics than touchdown passes.
Some of the louder voices, it was bust, one-year wonder in '97, not a great thrower. I heard that a lot. And the reality that I went from starting for 5 years and not missing a snap, and then hurting my collarbone, and now hitting the backup quarterback market was a little disappointing. And then the one thing I went into that quote-unquote free agency period, the perspective I had was I wasn't going to settle. I was going to go to a place where I could develop my skills, become a better player, and prove to people that the kind of archaic system that I had been through in Tampa wasn't me.
5 of Baltimore's first 7 games would be on the road. But as he would all season, Brian Billick turned the hardship to his advantage.
He constantly fueled this us against the world mentality, kind of using it as motivation. Look at the leagues trying to screw us, and nobody thinks that we matter.
Got another hell of one on the road. Hey, right? No big deal. On the road again.
We get the short end of the stick and all that stuff, and that was good. I mean, it definitely motivated some guys.
Especially quarterback Tony Banks, who started the 2000 season with a hot hand. After an opening day win in Pittsburgh, Banks threw a career-high 5 touchdown passes against the Jaguars. His last came with just 48 seconds left to win the game.
He sets, throws deep down the middle for Sharp. He's got it! Touchdown! Short and short for the end zone, and the place is going raving wild. 39-36 in as wild a football game as you're going to see. Oh, my goodness!
Banks was the confident starter, but oddly enough, his backup was even more self-assured.
The competitive part of me obviously wanted to play. This is a hard thing to say on camera, but I never doubted that I would be the quarterback for that football team. And never once. I was 100% sure that at some point I would be the quarterback of that football team.
The real leader of the team was Ray Lewis. He was the spearhead of a defense that shut out 2 of its first 4 opponents. Rookie Jamal Lewis was turning heads, and Baltimore's veteran pass rushers were knocking out quarterbacks. The Ravens were 3-1, but the schedule was about to get even tougher.
Now begins the journey. That's this whole thing leading up to 3 games on the road, and we'll get to where we want to go.
Boy, we just look lethargic. Come on now, we got to get tempo about us.
In October, the 3-1 Ravens hit the road and hit the wall. Their offense failed to score a touchdown the entire month. The team was unraveling.
We can't block. We're going to take a knee every snap.
I've got to be able to do something. There's something I can do to change this. That's my job. That's my responsibility. But you couldn't beat them up. Their egos, their confidence was going to be so fragile. The other part of that is the defense needs to know that you recognize the problem. They want to see something done. So all that frustration builds up.
You're supposed to score touchdowns, not field goals.
We're supposed to win games. We can score a ton of touchdowns. We can lead. I've been there. I've been fired at a San Diego State where we were 5th in total offense, 6th in scoring, and I got my fired because we lost games. Okay? So let's win the games, and if the numbers come with it, that's great. No, I'm not frustrated.
Anytime you have a locker room where one side of the ball is playing poorly and the other side of the ball is playing very well, there's great potential for division. And I forever admire those defensive guys for not allowing that to happen. Were they pissed? Absolutely they were pissed.
It's ridiculous, man.
In Week 7 at Washington, Tony Banks threw a critical end zone interception, and it cost Baltimore the game. A week later, Banks threw 3 more interceptions, and the Ravens fell to 5-3. Banks lost the game and his job.
There's nothing more dramatic for a team to deal with, good or bad, than the change at the quarterback position. And it just, it had to happen.
You knew they were coming. It's blocked up. Just deliver it to him, Tony. Right? You got to let Trent try to do something here now. Okay, we got you, Tony. I want that.
I'm not going to promise anything spectacular except that I'll prepare as hard as anybody in this league will prepare, and I will play as hard as anybody in this league will play.
A lot of people have failed to realize one thing. Trent Dilfer practiced against arguably the best defense in NFL history an entire season. He was prepared for anything.
Trent Dilfer. Well, I'll be.
When I took over, I said, okay, if you're going to make me the quarterback, then we're going to do 2 things differently. We're going to have more tempo offensively. We're going to quit thinking so much. We were thinking so much. We were weighing ourselves down with trying to be perfect. And then the other thing is we were going to get the ball to our best players, period. I don't care about this route concept and what we're trying to take advantage of here. We're only trying to score 17 points here. You know, we get 17, we're not going to lose. So let's get it the easy way. Let's get Shannon Sharp and Jamal Lewis the ball, and then let's hit Stokely in the middle and Cadre on the outside. If Shannon comes open first, he's going to get the football. And the next play, if he comes open first, he's going to get the football. And I just made it very clear, if you don't like it, put me on the bench.
In Week 10, after 5 games without a touchdown, Trent Dilfer got the Ravens into the end zone.
Time in the pocket, throws underneath. Stokely's got it. He's at the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Brandon Stokely has gone where no Raven has for 21 quarters.
You could tell the players responded to it. You could see the pure, you'd have really thought we'd have just won the Super Bowl. The look in their eye, and you knew from that point on we were going to be okay.
And that touchdown started something very special. Nobody knew it would start an 11-game winning streak, but it did.
Trent, all the way, baby, all right? We're counting on you, Trent. We're counting on you, buddy.
Trent Dilfer had earned the starting job for the 6-4 Ravens. But it was in Tennessee in Week 11 that he earned the respect of his teammates.
We went into Tennessee recognizing that Tennessee was probably going to win the division. This was a team that had never lost in its new stadium. Not only were we going to have to beat them there during the season, but we were likely going to have to come back there during the postseason.
Snap back to Dilfer. Blitz is on. Dilfer throwing deep upfield. Ismail's got a step. He's got it. He's at the 10-5. Touchdown. Cadre Ismail.
The Ravens built a quick 14-0 lead, but the Titans fought back to tie it. What happened next was a defining moment for Trent Dilfer.
So we're working down in a position, and Trent throws a bonehead interception. The kind of interception that had marked his career, and he'd been criticized before. The players knew that. Trent knew that.
You know, I made the mistake, obviously, and I recognize it, and I don't really need to hear anything. And Brian gives me his, his big scowl, his big tough guy scowl, and looks at me and says, "You just cost us the effing game."
Hey, you can't come out. Oh, I'm making the play to win the game. Don't worry. Hey, I'm going to let you do it this week. I want to do it. I want to do it. You ain't coming out of the game. I know we're not. But I got to prop your ass up. I know. I got you.
And I went right back in the huddle, and I looked at each guy in the huddle, and I said, "Listen, if you guys are looking for somebody right now, look at me. Because I am going to make a play that's going to win us this football game." I knew at that moment that if I came through with that, this was going to be a big deal for that football team.
Dilfer rolling out to his right, looking, throwing, touchdown! Patrick Johnson. Man, you talk about a football game.
Nothing came easily for Dilfer. Moments of triumph were short-lived and sometimes stolen away.
Game ends, looking for my playbook. I can't find my playbook. So I tell Matt Cavanaugh, "Hey, my playbook was stolen. I did not lose this thing. I mean, I have witnesses who saw me stunting, and this thing was stolen." "Well, don't worry about it. Well, what can they do?"
While Dilfer searched nervously for his lost playbook, Brian Billick found a magazine.
I got a cover of Sports Illustrated here. Says, Titans are the NFL's best team. Maybe they are, but not today.
In January of 2000, after the Rams defeated the Titans in Super Bowl 34, police arrived at an Atlanta nightclub. 2 young men had been murdered. Patrons were questioned, suspects were arrested, and an investigation began.
I got a phone call the night after the Super Bowl late. It's the phone call, if you're a parent, you dread. Other than I knew both my daughters were at home in their rooms. So I knew that this wasn't going to be good and that it was going to involve my team.
One of those arrested was Ray Lewis, the Baltimore Ravens star linebacker. The defender was now a defendant. The charge was double murder.
There was none of us that could call anybody that we knew that had dealt with an indictment of a current player for 2 counts of murder. And what do you do in this situation?
After 4 months of legal proceedings, the most serious charges were dropped, but Lewis pled guilty to a misdemeanor charge of obstruction of justice.
Guilty.
In August, the Ravens held a press conference, but Lewis addressed the team privately.
When I first came back, Brian said, "Do you want to speak?" I said, "No," because the time wasn't right. My heart was going through too much other stuff.
Lewis pledged to be their leader again, on and off the field. Then he shared with them a jail cell vision.
What God showed me is our destiny ends in Tampa, Florida. 20 minutes away from my hometown. I said, I saw it. We're in the Super Bowl.
It don't matter about me no more. I done been to the Pro Bowls. I done been linebacker yet. None of that matters. I need to get to Tampa. Now.
I said, now I need every man to believe that in their hearts, that I've saw the vision. And I don't care what goes on in this season, don't you ever turn your back on one another. Ever.
Suspicion would shadow Ray Lewis for the entire 2000 season. Juries of 70,000 people awaited him in every city he played in. Along the way, there would be scrapes and scars, which somehow made a tough team even stronger.
I want to be very careful in characterizing how we benefited from this as a team, because at the end of the day, we've got to remind ourselves that there were 2 individuals that died that evening. To go through this with Ray, we knew in every city we went into, in any city we played, there were going to be certain attacks on Ray, on the team. The challenge of that is something that I think brought this team together. My role really, and it was kind of odd, here I'm this offensive guy that went to school at this Christian BYU, and now I'm the head of a bunch of what some people thought was a bunch of thugs and gang members. Not only because of some of the things that transpired prior to the season, but anytime you win defensively, you take on that personality. Nasty, mean, rough, raunchy, whatever term you want to put to it. So all of a sudden, I find myself out in front of this kind of team.
We were always pissed off. Always pissed off.
You can't hurt this. I'm a machine, you jerk.
So we played with a chip on our shoulders.
Grab him by the throat, take him with us, and we'll get out of here and go home. All right? Who's with me?
But what was created through that chip on your shoulder was a bond.
We got each other. We don't need nobody else.
If I got your back, you got my back. If I go to war, we go to war together.
Brian Billick never forgot that in combat, the shield is just as important as the sword.
He was the big brother. He was the big brother. He was the one that would get in the interviews and take the hits for us.
The pundits and the experts are going to pick this apart and talk to me about some kiss-ass third down percentage or red zone. Hey, them all. Put that in NFL films. Bleep it any way you want, okay?
He trusted us as men.
I don't think you're fired up enough, right? I don't know, man. I don't see it yet.
So he was like, look, I'm not really trying to step on nobody's toes or stop anything y'all are doing. I need y'all to be who you are.
Now, Billick had to change. This wasn't the NFL's highest scoring team ever. He created that in Minnesota 2 years earlier. This was a field position team, a conservative team, a defensive team.
I had a tough time believing that we could be successful and not have a higher level of explosiveness or productivity on the offensive side of the ball.
Write a book called How to Win Ugly in the NFL.
But as we progressed through the season and we saw that not only were we a dominant defense, but we were quite possibly the best defense in the history of the game. We can win a championship this way. Hating it all the while, hating every minute of it, that this can't be right.
We go to a Super Bowl like this, I may never throw another pass for the rest of my life. Earned my degree from BYU.
So it did feel like I was going over the dark side, but the force was with me because I bought it into it hook, line, and sinker.
Billick saw the big picture and perfected his winning formula. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Jamal got to touch the ball 25 to 30 times. Don't turn the ball over and unleash our defense. Get us in position. Let's get us 3. Let's get us a quick 7 and let us hunt. We scored a touchdown first, game over. And it repeated. And that was the trend. If we got up on anybody, 3 points, 7 points, game over.
I remember looking at my wife at the dinner table one night and I said, we're not going to lose. And we may never lose a game again. And she thought I was crazy.
Don't worry about no playoffs. Don't worry about scenarios. Don't worry about this. Let's get in the door. Because if we get in the door, they do not know what they're in for.
After an undefeated November, the Ravens were 9-4. The Ravens' first ever playoff berth was in reach. It was acceptable to think about a playoff spot, but it was not to be mentioned.
You got to earn the right to be a playoff team. And until you are, you're not. And we're not going to talk about it. We're not going to reference it because, quite frankly, guys, you haven't earned it yet. You're going to wait until you make the playoffs before you use the P word.
Here we are, we're grown men, we have families, most of us had more money than Brian at the time. And here we are being told what we can say and what we can't say about the P word.
The fines will be legitimate and they'll be severe, and the players will be made aware of that, as is everybody else in the building.
But to appease Brian, we did not use the P word in the public.
In Week 15, with a playoff spot at stake, Baltimore honored owner Art Modell for his distinguished 40-year career.
I'll wager to a man that there wasn't one of us that your first thought didn't go to Art. The clock was ticking, and we knew it. And those of us that have the affection that we do for Art wanted it truly as much for Art as we wanted it for ourselves.
Baltimore earned a wild card playoff berth, and the ban on the P word was lifted.
Makes the catch, touchdown.
First time in Ravens history. Playoffs.
Somebody say playoffs?
The P word was P word. Playoffs. I think that's the P word. Playoffs. Well, I can say it now. Playoffs.
The lifting of the P word was fun. Now, obviously, the fine for the P word is off. But then also, as a coach, always you got to throw in that next challenge. Men, the time is here. It's time to go to a Super Bowl. Okay? That's the sight.
Why not?
This, in my opinion, was the most genius thing he's ever done. In my opinion, this set the stage, and I'm so glad he showed the balls to do it.
Why not? You're in it. You're in it. And why go if you don't want to take a run at it, right? Why the hell go?
Amen. You know, thank you for saying that, because I just left Tampa where all we talked about was let's just get into the playoffs and see what happens. And I hear all these other coaches say the same thing. Let's just get into the tournament. You hear that every year. Let's just get into the tournament. Bull crap. Let's try to win the Super Bowl.
The playoffs? Nah. So when he said, "Men, let's go win a Super Bowl," my mouth got watery. I say,
The Ravens had come a long way. Through the trials of Ray Lewis, the scoring drought, and a quarterback change. But in December, the team faced a personal tragedy when Geronimo, the son of the littlest Raven, Jermaine Lewis, was stillborn.
That was as a difficult a time for this team, for the obvious reasons of the loss of a child, the affection we had for Jermaine. It certainly lent a sense of appreciation of how tenuous this all is. We had a responsibility to each other personally as well.
Jermaine to us was that little brother. So, of course, Geronimo was our baby. And when they came in and they told us what had happened, I remember never forget, because me and Jermaine used to hang out so much. I told him, I said, "Man, God got something special for us." I said, "Man, we going through it."
After taking a week off to grieve, Jermaine Lewis rejoined the team for the regular season finale.
Wobbly, Jermaine takes it on his own 47. Midfield at the 45, 40, through the pack, 35, 30, 25, Tupa, can't get him, touchdown! Yes! Jermaine Lewis, all right!
You know, he pointed up in the sky, and, you know, he came to the sideline, you know, he had tears. He was like, "That's for my son." And he'll tell you, I said, "You're going to get another one."
Jermaine's going to have a chance to return this one. Takes it at the 11, 15, looking for a block, 20, 25, still up, cuts it back to the middle, 35, 40, up the far sideline, midfield, he's gone! Jermaine Lewis, second punt return of the day! Yes, sir!
To be on the sideline and watch Jermaine Lewis, having just buried his son, returning kicks for touchdowns and basically winning the game for us, was something I'm going to remember for as long as I live. I've seen team after team stand on the sideline, mesmerized at Ray Lewis coming out, showing the emotion that he has for the game. The fans love it, the way they react to it. And, you know, the old adage is don't follow children or dog acts. There's a third one, don't follow Ray Lewis.
How do I follow that, huh?
If following Ray Lewis was hard at home, it was even harder standing behind him on the road.
as I would come out of the tunnel and heard the things that were yelled at Ray Lewis, at first you're embarrassed that one human being would say something like that.
When I walk on the football field and I hear and I hear you black son of a B and I hear you nasty murderer, you mother, it's like, wow.
I would not have been able to not jump up in the stands and go after people, and he didn't.
But after a while, you began to recognize they don't know what they're doing. Not that this man needs any more focus, but when you start throwing those things out at him, the way that brings that steely-eyed focus and resolution to do what Ray Lewis can do, I'm sure the opponents didn't realize just how much they were playing into Ray's hands.
Now, even people that don't like me got to watch me. I went into a gladiator mentality. I went into a gladiator mode. We was in grudge matches. It was pure dominance. We're trying to be the greatest of all time, bottom line. And if that's what they put before us, let's go get it. I'm a natural born leader.
Follow my lead, and I promise I'll get you there. Follow my leader, come on.
Just by looking in a man's eyes and say, look, I'm not telling you something for my benefit. I'm telling you something for the benefit of us.
We got to communicate and think mentally. Everybody got to know that there's somebody beside you that's depending on you. All right, it's up to us to go out and win this game.
Ray gave the orders. Everyone obeyed. Not a single 100-yard rusher allowed. 4 shutouts. The fewest points ever surrendered in a 16-game season. They established themselves as one of the greatest defenses of all time. But they had yet to win a playoff game. Defense wins championships. But a little luck certainly helps.
Dilfer in the pocket, plenty of time, throws out in the flat to Jamal Lewis.
Here's the ball in the air, and I'm going, oh no.
And Shannon catches it.
It is caught by Shannon Sharp on a deflection. Sharp up the far sideline.
I sat there with my arms crossed and watched him run down the sidelines going, this is unbelievable. This is perfect.
Shannon Sharp, touchdown!
And I'm sitting over there saying, it's our year.
The Ravens adhered to their winning formula. They took the lead, unleashed Ray Lewis and their history-making defense, then let Jamal Lewis put the game away.
Right back to Jamal Lewis off the right side. Keeps his feet. He's on. He's going to score. 10-5. Touchdown.
A rematch in Tennessee was next, and the war of words commenced.
Who's the only team to beat the Tennessee Titans in the Delphi Coliseum? If you pick the Baltimore Ravens, you're right.
They think they're the best in their eyes, and we think we're the best in our eyes, and it's going to be a hell of a war.
The battle began with a surprising pregame volley.
On their Jumbotron or whatever it is, came up a montage of vignettes. And there was one with me in the locker room sequence, some of the other things that I've said and done. It was extensive, and the fans were hooping it up. I didn't appreciate it, but the players noticed it, and they knew exactly what was going on.
Yeah, we said it. Whatever they say, we said it.
More than one player came by me and said, we got your back on this, coach.
The Titans had another surprise for Trent Dilfer. He noticed it right away. The Titans seemed to know exactly what was coming, and Dilfer found himself running for his life. his thoughts returned to his playbook that had disappeared there 2 months earlier.
They knew what we were going to do going into that game. They had us, and nobody's ever heard this story before. And they played us completely different. We were shell-shocked. I think that's one of the hardest I've ever been hit. Over and over and over. I just took a beating that game. I remember sitting on the sideline going, wow, I mean, we better win the whole thing if I'm going to take this kind of beating.
The Titans made one mistake and left Shannon Sharp uncovered. Dilfer made the play, and the Ravens built a 17-10 fourth-quarter lead. The game came down to a clash of two Titans, Eddie George and Ray Lewis.
In that game, he'll tell you, I said, one of us gonna make the game-winning play. I saw McNair drop back. I gave Eddie a little cushion because he broke Sharp. As soon as he broke, I broke.
McNair has the football, has a lot of time.
I saw him turn, and I saw the ball coming off his hands. And honestly, I'm sitting there like, wow. It's like right here.
Throws underneath, and it's picked off. Ray Lewis has the ball.
I remember Eddie grabbing my leg. And I remember snatching my leg from Eddie.
He's on the 40, 30, couldn't go all the way.
And running down that sideline, I could not hear a sound.
He took it away from Eddie George, and Ray Lewis, the Defensive Player of the Year in the NFL, sealed the deal for the Ravens.
And I remember I put my hand to my mouth. And I told the Duffy Coliseum to be quiet because y'all done.
Ray Lewis and the Ravens were one win away from Super Bowl 35.
Folks, when you go into the Lion's Den, you don't tippy-toe in. You carry a spear, you go in screaming like a banshee, and you kick whatever door's in and say, where's the son of a... If you go in any other way, you're going to lose.
I'm going to make this short and simple today. Defense wins championships. Defense. With what we're trying to do and where we're trying to go, we dominate today.
Early in the second quarter, Trent Dilfer faced a 3rd and 18 from his own 4.
Dilfer under center, back in the end zone, short drop over the middle. Sharp's got it, 20, right up the middle, 30. He's up there, he's going to Shannon! Go, baby! Go! Shannon Sharp, 20, 10, touchdown, Ravens!
Once he scored that touchdown, man, the confidence of our team, as if we didn't already walk with a certain swag, it quadrupled. You know, it was like, okay, let's get this over with.
The Ravens' raw speed contained the NFL's top rushing team.
Get off the field! Get off the field! I told you I'm coming!
Their sheer size knocked Rich Gannon out of the game. Super Bowl 35 was in their sights.
Boeing back to throw. Pretty good time throwing down the middle. It's picked off. That's it. Jamie Sharp. That lady can sing now. 3, 2, 1. Pack your bags, Baltimore. The Ravens are going to the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl? Not another playoff game. We're talking about the dance of all dances. And the Ravens are in it.
Unbelievable. Give me a kiss, you baby. Unbelievable. You're going back to Tampa, baby. You deserve it.
I don't even think I'd be able to come up with something pretty funny, but right now I'm really struggling. I know all the good restaurants in Tampa.
On the way to the airport to fly to Tampa, it became clear that nothing would stand in the way of the Baltimore Ravens.
We get on the bus, and we run over one of the cop cars on the freeway, crashed it into the side of the median.
The bus veers left. That traffic officer is sandwiched and is nearly launched over the retaining wall. They both bump along. The car scraped on both sides and underneath.
And we're looking down, and this man is stuck between the bus and the median.
But we weren't going to stop. He was fine, and so we just kept going. It really wasn't until we got on the plane that we recognized that we had run over a police officer in his car.
That collision was a mere bump in the road compared to the clash between Brian Billick and the Super Bowl media over Ray Lewis's past.
As much as some of you want to, we are not going to retry this. It's inappropriate, and you're not qualified.
Making this point the next day at the news conference, I did so more emotionally than I probably should have.
You've labeled us sensationalizing, you've said you've disappointed in the media, you've called us three or four different names already. What is your purview that you could stand up there and tell 200 people how to do their jobs?
Is that I have the podium and you all are here to listen to me.
At Media Day, despite Billick's edict, the press surrounded Lewis, and their questions weren't about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I got money. Yeah, I'm black. And yeah, I'm blessed. But at the same time, let's find out the real truth. The real truth is this was never about those two kids that's dead in the street. This is about Ray Lewis. And that's the same thing this is about. And that's not right.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Super Bowl 35.
Ray Lewis was finally on pro football's ultimate stage. He knew he'd be there 5 months ago.
I done been to the Pro Bowls. I done been linebacker, yet none of that matters. I need to get to Tampa. Now.
Lewis had come full circle from his trial of a year before. He had much to prove. So did Trent Dilfer, who played for years with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on this very field.
I was getting a lot of heat. You know, there was a lot of criticism on the worst quarterback to ever go to the Super Bowl. Now, I had a big chip on my shoulder. I wanted to stick it up all their you-know-whats and show them that, no, football is still about playing the position the way it's supposed to be played and just winning, not glamour.
Stover approaches the football. We are underway. The flashbulb sparkle. Back to throw Trent Dilfer. Throwing deep down the middle for Stover. He's got it. Touchdown. Brandon Stover for the score.
Whoa! And what a pass. Stover threw right down the middle. He hadn't thrown one here in Tampa Bay ever like that. That pass was gorgeous.
Nice call, nice call. Yeah!
True to form, the Ravens scored first. Then the defense battered the Giants and won the game.
Oh, yeah!
Inspired by Lewis, the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year, the Ravens forced 5 turnovers and allowed no offensive points.
I mean, from the first snap, we was like, look, they better not get a first down. And every play was another step of saying, we're not done.
Slant over the middle, picked up by Dwayne Starks. He's got a touchdown. Touchdown, Dwayne Starks. Off to the races.
Saw it all the way. Yeah, baby!
It's rare you can at the moment know that the game is won and you're a world champion. Standing behind Jermaine Lewis as he rounded the far side for the kickoff return for the touchdown, that was it. There's no way they could come back from this.
J. Lou kicks it outside. He's at the 40,
Go, J. Lou!
45. He's
Go,
at
J. Lou!
down the far
Set
side.
history, J. Lou!
He's gone all the way. All right. Jermaine Lewis goes all the way.
Trent Dilfer's unbreakable spirit made him a world champion, but he had to hoist the trophy with a hand he'd broken earlier in the game.
Maybe the significance of hoisting up the Lombardi with the bandaged hands is to achieve anything great, you gotta go through a lot of pain. I think it always feels better when you achieve something after you've endured a lot. And that it's a lesson that not everybody wants to learn because they don't want to go through the pain, but I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Most valuable player for Super Bowl 35 for the Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis.
Oh my goodness, as a child, I've dreamed this. I've dreamed to see this confetti just drop, and now I'm living it. All of those days, all of those worries, those doubts, those fears, everything, you're sitting there saying, now, say what you please. Because what I entered this game to do, I've done. And that's touch the Lombardi Trophy.
MVP Ray Lewis was not welcome at Disney World. Trent Dilfer went in his place, but he never returned to Baltimore. Dilfer became the only quarterback ever to be released right after winning a Super Bowl. But in 2000, the Ravens were champions.
What do you think about this?
They won the respect of the football world with their toughness and the resounding Super Bowl victory. Baltimore embraced them, but the same might not be said for the rest of America.
It does not bother me one bit that we didn't grab the hearts of America. But America could learn a lot from learning about that group of men and what they achieved. If I could preach to the world for 10 seconds, I would preach substance, not glamour. This team had great substance.
There's no question what we were able to accomplish and overcome in 2000 had to earn the respect of the country. But because of the nature of what we had to come through, from Ray Lewis's situation to when you win with that defensive mentality, the swagger that we had, that rubs people the wrong way sometimes. This was an incredible group of young men that had a great deal of character. They really did. And I think that got overshadowed by our circumstances, and this group was deserving of more than that.
The hearts of people, you're very careful to try to please. The hearts of your family is what's the most important. And that right there is enough for me. Not just to live a lifetime off, but to always remember that I was a part of something. And no matter how they felt about us, no one can ever take it away.
For additional video content, photo galleries, and more from America's Game, visit NFL.com/America's Game.